All right, Algebra 1. Welcome back. Here we go, guys. We are starting section 5 of chapter 7 today. All right, this is going to be a nicer section than compared to, I don't know, maybe the last section or the section prior to that. It's going to be pretty straightforward here. This is all about solving equations for y. Okay, make them say y equals. You're in business. All right. So title here, special types of linear systems. And you can see, all right, I'm going to be wanting you guys to get all of these charts. All right. So as it says, use and look at these charts. You're going to need to use them, all of these charts right here. Okay. This is important. There's some basic info that you can pull from them. So I'm not necessarily saying you got to copy these down word for word, but there's going to be some important things that you really have to grasp from this. All right. So make both equations set up for y equals. All right. So that's going to be extremely important. Remember what we're talking about here. Y equals mx plus b. All right. So that is one of those equations that we've used multiple times. Just to make sure you remember it, they will say y equals, and then everything else is on the other side. And that's going to be step 1. Then what you're looking at is the slopes. All right. Do they have a different slope? Do they have the same slope? Then do they have potentially the same slope, same y-intercept? All right. So there's a couple things we can gain from that. Once they say y equals, you can determine different slopes. Immediately, you know there's one solution. And this is an example of what the graph might look like. Okay, so again, start by making them y equals. That means y is by itself. Then focus on the slope. Again, different slope, one solution. This is an example of what you could be looking at. Okay, now if we have the same slope, then you need to look at the y-intercept. Okay, because there's two different situations. Let's say we have same slope, different y-intercept. We are looking at a no solution that will make parallel lines. Okay, so hear that again. Same slope, but different y-intercept. No solution. We are looking at parallel lines. Now, the next possibility is you have the same slope, same y-intercept. That means you're looking at infinite solutions because it's the same line. All right, and remember, m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. All right, so this is a little bit review. Okay. Then let's take a look at an example. Okay, so right here, you're looking at two equations that are not set up for y equals. So that's why both of these equations, you'd have to move, and then both are set up for y equals. And let's take a look at this. What do you see? You see that they have the same slope. Both are -3. So we're looking at one of these possibilities. Then we have to look at the y-intercept. Different y-intercept, same slope, no solution, parallel lines. So what you would tell me is there's no solution and they'd be parallel lines. All right, so let's do 2 example problems and then we will be done for this video. Okay, first thing, tell whether the linear system has no solution or infinite solutions. So I'm going to notice that they're not set up for y equals. So let's set them up for y equals. Okay, so take the top equation. We're going to move this over. So the 5x is going to stay. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I'm going to switch the 3y and the 6. All right, that's one way we could do this. So the 5x stays, minus 6, that moved, equals a -3y. And everything is going to be divided by a -3. Okay, so that'll cross out, that'll cross out. Let's go one step further. We're looking at 5 over -3x. plus, notice you have a negative over a negative. So that's going to now make a plus 2 equals y. Okay, let's do the same thing for the next equation right here. All right, so we have a negative 5x. We're going to switch places. This is going to move here. The 3 is going to move there. So now we're going to have a minus 3 equals now a positive 3y. Everything is divided by the 3. That way this crosses out. And let's see what that works out to be. A negative 5 over 3x minus 1 equals y. Now something I need to point out, you'll see that you have a negative with this one, but then a negative with this one. That's actually the same thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just so that we're on the same page here, let's erase these negative signs, and let's put them out in front of the fraction. Okay, so no confusion. They're both negatives, all right? So now this is what we're addressing. Let's look at the slope. A negative 5 over 3, a negative 5 over 3. Same slope. So I have to then look at the y-intercept. Positive 2, negative 1. So this means we have same slope, different y-intercept, which means this is fitting into the no solution category. All right, these are parallel lines, therefore no solution. Okay, so that is the first example problem right there. Let's take a look at the second example problem, and then we are good to go. All right, so one equation is already set up as y equals. We like that. This one, don't need to mess with it. This one, we need to mix things up. Let's take the negative 6x and move it over. Okay, so we're going to do that. That's going to leave us with 3y equals now a positive 6x. This was a negative. I moved it, so the sign on it changes. It's a positive, and minus 12. All right, now everything will be divided by 3 because we need to isolate y, get y by itself. All right, so let's now rewrite the equation that we have. Y equals 2x minus 4. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. This is what I see. I see a y equals 2x minus 4. I see another given y equals 2x minus 4. They are identical. Same slope, same y-intercept. That means we are looking at an infinite solution for our answer. That means these guys are actually the same line. Same line means we are talking about infinite. That is our answer there. Okay, so again, go through the simple steps. Isolate y. That means it's going to be y equals mx plus b. Focus on the slope. Different slopes, you already have your answer. But if it's the same slope, then you need to look at the y-intercept, and that's the final piece right there to tell you what category it fits into. One solution, no solution, or infinite solution. All right, let's zoom back out. There's your example problems. Kind of take a full shot right there. All right, remember, copy down the notes, copy down the example problems, watch these videos, ask questions when you have them. It's important. We'll see you guys in the next one.